Hello, my name is Kaisa Kai, and I'm excited to be sharing my new YouTube channel. This has been a dream of mine, and I'm finally doing it. I'm stepping into this commitment. This is about part of what I'm talking about here is commitment. And I learned some interesting things around commitment as I explored this. Um, I was listening to Teal Swan the other day. She's a teacher on YouTube, and she was talking about freedom versus irresponsibility and commitment versus avoidance. And I was mulling around all these things, and I've always thought I'm very, very committed. At the age of 21, my husband and I, well, we got married. We bought a house when I was 21. And in the next 11 years, 11 and a half years, we had 6 children. And we developed a alternative way of living. I grew a lot of our food, baked all our bread, made things from scratch, home learning, attachment parenting, extended breastfeeding, home birthing, all in the middle of a big city. And we also built a recording studio and an art studio on our property. My husband was an artist and a musician. And we built 2 suites on the ground floor for my mom and my dad, who were divorced. And my troubled brother would often stay with my mom for weeks on end. And so our home became a safe, creative place for people to hang out. Animals as well, and a lot of abandoned animals, unwanted animals. And in the end, we had twice as many animals as people. In the end, we had 13 people in the house, and then I had about that many animals, and including parrots and a hedgehog. So this was all of this activity was also supporting that caretaking part of me that just wanted to keep saving the world, rescuing people, and just loving and taking care of everybody and keeping me so busy. Yes, guess what? I had no time for me, which was absolutely perfect. That was how I wanted it. A bit nervous. I've got notes here that I'm looking at a bit, so I stay on track and I don't ramble. So obviously there's lots of stories around all of that part of my life. It was a long time ago now. I'm much older. It all ended tragically at that point, but that I've grown. My children and I have learned a lot through all that. But my point about commitment was I thought I was very committed, and then I realized that my commitment was based not on self-acceptance, but on what was it I was saying here? Not on self-acceptance, but on self-denial. And which obviously is very different from self-acceptance. And so eventually, what's been happening lately is I've been actually not wanting to commit to anything because it makes me feel like I'm in a prison cell. And so feeling like I'm in a prison cell, and that I'm not free, and that I can make mistakes, and that someone is controlling me and like a puppet on a string. So when I listened to Teal Swan's work the other day, and I went, oh my gosh, my goal all life has been towards self-love and self-love, and my whole life has been actually, I feel a few tears here, but actually on self-avoidance. And I understand why. I come from a lot of childhood trauma. But it was still surprising. Interestingly enough, out of that came this push to start a YouTube channel to share part of all this, part of my process through life, through a vulnerable place, and also hoping that as I share my traumas, trials, and triumphs of my life, it definitely helps me. But feeling that bits and pieces here and there may help some of you. So I'm going to end this now. I'm just beginning with all this, getting used to all this. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below if you like what you've heard. And thank you so much for listening. And I'll be doing more and more and more of this. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.